Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, happy everyone. How are you? How are you? How are you? About that return from winter break, for those you teach reading and English, ELA, reading and English on the high school level, I'm going to give you some quick activities that you can do upon your return with your kiddos, and that will have the kids engaged and learning at the same time. So, what you want to do is reinforce the key skills in reading comprehension, literary analysis, and collaboration. We've already know that they've had some time off, so they're going to need some review. All right. So, one of the activities starts with the warm up, and that's a quick write. With that quick write, you should have them to write something about something fun that happened during winter break, maybe something that was memorable or things of that nature, something that will have them to share out and they will actually enjoy what they're doing. Okay. So a lot of us had like 2 weeks or a week and a half off. It's coming to a close. But when you return, you just don't want to have no lesson plan. You want to have something that will have them engaged as well as learning at the same time. So this activity doesn't take long to plan. It's a quick lesson plan. Basically, you are reviewing the literary elements of plot, which is a sequence of events and characterization, as well as an overall summary of a short story. So first, yes, do the quick write, okay? The quick write is writing something down about their vacation or the time that they had, some kind of fun that they had during that time, as well as any cities or towns or countries that they visited, something fun and memorable. Maybe set the timer for 3 minutes, maybe set it for 5, and then have them to share out as a quick warm up, quick write in the whole group setting. And that you'll find out how they had their winter break, how much fun it was, and you'll find out maybe some great cities or places that they visited. And some folks actually went out to eat to enjoy the holiday. So that's like a quick write warm up, writing about a quick memorable moment or a time during winter break. Next, you're going to review plot. We all know what plot is. Plot is a series of events in a story. Your events make up the story. So pick a short story in which they can discuss the sequence of events, share out what the plot is, the characters, describe the characters. Did the characters change? Did they not change? Did they stay the same? And with those sequence of events, they can talk about how each event domino affect each event. So, for example, if you had a certain event that actually catapulted another event, and then that event did the same thing, have them to read about it and share about it. All right. And that's just a quick short story that you're going to pull actually that the students can, it's an easy read. It's nothing that's too, real high level. Again, this is more of a review. It's not something that you're going to go hard in the paint as, because what you want to do is find out, it's almost like a quick informal assessment. Find out, what it is you still need to work on, and if they retained anything, or what else can you advance on, okay? Then you can break them down into groups. Let's say you do 3 groups, group A, or whatever you want to name them, group diamond, group silver, group gold. So 3 to 4, no more than 4 groups, okay? Most classes have about, 25 kids, 25 to 30 students. So if you're that teacher that has 25 to 30, 4 groups probably makes sense, because that will give you at least 7 students per group, okay? But if you have 20 kids, you really just need 3 groups, all right? So in your first group, you're going to have them to use that short story, and you're going to have to identify the theme, okay? They're going to gather in that group, read that short story, and start identifying, reading through, and identifying what that theme is for that short story. Then your second group, they're going to identify the characterization of the characters in the story. And then your third group, or if you have 4 groups, you can actually break this into 2, where you can do a sequence of events timeline. A great story, a lot of folks tend to use something that's not really long. You can use something like A Gift of the Magi or Magi, something that's short, but actually some folks like to use The Necklace, things of that nature. It depends on what you have in your actual collection or that you can pull from. It shouldn't be like a 40-page novel. Something quick, like a quick short story that they can actually get their hands on, break it down. Most classes are 60 to 82 minutes. And so this actually would take up that entire time and may even go over to the next day, depending upon how your warm-up goes, your collaboration goes. So now you have group A, or I'll say group diamond, group silver, group gold. I like giving those students, have them to create their own names. A lot of times they want to use university names, or they want to use something jazzy like gold, diamond, silver, or they may want to use sports teams or things of that nature. That's okay, as long as it's positive. So your first group should focus on using that short story, breaking down the actual theme. All right. Your second group, characterization, talking about the different characters, how they change, how they fade in and out, how they come back in. Some of your characters may even die off, or some may enter the beginning, but they hang back at the middle, or some just advance and grow. Whatever that characterization of that character or characters are, have that second group to do it. And your last group, the sequence of events. And again, the sequence of events can be broken down into two. If you have a larger class, that can be subdivided into two groups. Sequence of events is really good because you can talk about the introduction, the climax, and then the resolution. So we all know that you have your beginning, your rising action, climax, the folly action, the resolution, and the denouement. All right. And so that's when you talk about events, you can get a lot out of that. Okay. A lot of times it takes students more than one day to really digest and break that information down. That's just a quick activity. KB Chambers Education Consultant. We all know that the time is winding down, but what you want to start thinking about is when you're developing that lesson plan is more of a review. Okay. So that you can do an informal assessment about what you need to do moving forward, because quarter 2 is actually ending around end of January or early February. So I believe it's early February. So you can sort of gauge where the comprehension skill set is, and also do that literary analysis as well as the collaboration. Groups are when you structure the groups correctly and intentionally and strategically, they can make your teaching classroom a lot easier. And then a lot of times you find that students really like collaboration and they really like sharing out. They may tell you they don't, but they really do. All right. So for those you're wondering, I am also on Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube at KB Chambers Education Consultant. Not only are we doing the tutoring piece, but also the special education and the SAT prep, curriculum development, as well as collaboration with other educational entities of like minds. So when you return from, let me say this again, returning from winter break, I specifically, my sector or my niche is high school reading and English language arts. And so getting those kids, getting them to talk again, we haven't seen each other in almost 2 weeks, getting them back in the mainstream of things, fostering collaboration, nurturing those groups, the literary analysis, the comprehension, and you could also have your informal assessment. All right. So that's where you can find me. I'll be back on a little bit later. If not later tomorrow, make sure that you have a great and safe holiday. See you back in the classroom.